Welcome back to another video. This is still core beliefs, nearing the end of the first section. For this question, it's when can I tell when somebody gets it and when they don't? And this would be under the guise of, for me at any rate, they appear to have things in the right order. So maybe they're doing direct response, they've got a call to action, they've called out their avatar, they appear to be doing things that would make me think that they get it. The defining line in somebody who gets it and somebody who doesn't get it would be the understanding of the numbers and the realization of what needs to get done. And what I mean is you can be doing everything right in front, meaning you've got a headline, you've got a subhead, a call to action, you're calling out your avatar, you're hitting the pain points, you've got an offer they want, you have all these ducks in a row, you're doing advertising where your ideal client is. And that leads me to believe that, okay, maybe they do understand what they're doing. When I realize they don't, or like if they don't get it, is when they don't know what their numbers are. So I will ask them things like, well, what's your cost per acquisition or cost per purchase? What's your cost per lead? How many of the people who land on the page actually purchase? That's a good indicator if they get it or not. Say they have those numbers. The next thing I'll ask them is, are they making decisions, or I'll look for, I should say, are they making decisions based on these numbers? Or are they making decisions based on how they feel about their products or their offers, what they think is happening? An easy tell is usually if I go to a business owner, say I'm talking to them about their local lead gen business, they've got a sales team. And I'll say something like, well, what is your sales team's closing ratio? And they say something along the lines of, I feel like I think it should be, they don't get it. Because that's a desire. That's a make-believe story we tell in our head. And it's also usually an ego-driven thing. What benefit does it do me for him to lie? Nothing. But what benefit does it do him? It makes him seem better off than he is. Oh, my sales team closes at 30%. Okay, but I'm going to ask for the numbers. I want to look at the data. And it's not that I don't believe you. It's that chances are there was a month in there, or you're going off of your own personal numbers, how you close, and you're inferring that level of expertise either on an ongoing basis or your ability to close as the people you've hired as their ability to close. And that's wrong. That's not accurate. You need to actually look. But if somebody's headed in that direction, like what a normal response would be, I'm not sure, I'll need to get the numbers, right? I think it's this, but I'll need to double check. It's that little extra afterwards. I believe it's this, but let me look. Like, let me go look at the numbers and actually find out. So the more on top of the numbers and how the business is doing, the more decisions they make based on the actual metrics in the business that tell it whether it's doing well and surviving or not, leads me to believe they get it. Anything short of that is like, oh, they went through a course that had some good tidbits. And why are they suffering? Because they don't understand how the numbers work. Like, they might have everything right and still think they're failing. There are a number of businesses I've looked at and been like, your numbers are fantastic. And they say, well, why aren't I doing more? And I say, well, because you need to spend more on ads. Or they have unrealistic expectations. I want to spend $1,000 and make 100,000. Everywhere I've gone, no matter what I do, every time I spend $1,000, I don't make 100,000. And it's an understanding. Another part of the understanding that tells me if they get it or not is twofold. A smart business owner will be willing to break even, meaning make zero money, or lose money on a new customer. And the more they're willing to lose, the better off they probably are. And this is an established business owner, because this tells me they know their numbers. Hey, I might lose $800 acquiring the customer, but I know in 6 months, the average customer is worth $6,000 of profit, for example. So who cares if you're down 800? Because in 6 months, you're going to be up 6,000, right? I'm not saying that's the case, and it doesn't always have to be the way, but that's having someone who understands that is a good spot. Someone who doesn't get it and is always a tell that they don't get it is someone who insists on front end new customer acquisition being profitable. It's just, it can happen, but it's very rare. The times that it does happen, you're dealing with very large price products. So if I'm selling something for 5,000 or 10,000, I'll probably make money on my front end. The understanding though is, hey, it might cost you 8,000 to make that $10,000 sale. Should you do it? Yes, you should do it all day long. Why? Because you're up 2,000. Why wouldn't you? But the problem is getting to that spend. So a lot of business owners will hesitate. They might hit like 3,000 spend and not have a sale, and they start to freak out when they realize they've got like 3 times that they can spend still before they really have to worry. And ideally, they're going through this process and they know their numbers, so they're not just throwing money out the window to burn it, that they actually get it. Most businesses, if the first product is in a high ticket product, need to know that you're probably going to be break even or loss on the front. And what you need to figure out, and what hopefully will translate to you so that you're one of these people who gets it, isn't how to minimize that, although that's helpful and there's things you can do, but is how long does it take you to recover that loss and be profitable? Meaning, is it a different product? Is it your average cart value? Is it a second purchase? Is it a third offer? What is it? And this is why most businesses that only have one offer fail, because it's very hard to survive if you're at break even or loss when you only have one thing to sell them and they have no reason to buy from you again. So that, I think, is what would tell me if somebody gets it and when they don't. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. See you guys in the next one.